Sometimes I think I'm more depressed here with my mom than I was living in that fucking shelter. That is me. There's a twofold reason for that. Number one, I look at my mom and I think that's how I'm gonna wind up. Can't really talk to her about anything deep. When I'm feeling this way, part of me just wants to leap off the nearest bridge, slice open my own throat, but not really. What it really makes me want is to fucking go crazy, like get drunk, party, get fucked. Still relatively young and beautiful enough. Lifetime ago, like 20 years ago, I actually worked as an overnight moderator for a phone sex company. Hot Sugar. I don't know if it still exists. The funny thing about that was the owner had a dual business, D-U-A-L, dual. On the one side was the prim, the normal business world, the conference center. On the other side was his little lucrative phone sex company. And the thing about him was, I guess if he didn't hide it, I'm sure he hid it. He hid it. He had to have hidden it from his clients. Does it still exist? I don't know. It was here in Massachusetts. I don't know. All I know is that you can say, well, why did you? I worked as an overnight moderator for that company, phone sex side. And that meant I handed out the calls. And I read the little descriptions for Sally with the triple D picklebees and 22, whatever. And then we'd call up one of the 99.9% extremely obese women to play Sally. It's gonna be a hit on my life now for telling you guys this. I'm telling you, inside info, baby. By now you men should know that majority, probably 90% more of those women not only don't look anything like little descriptions, but aren't even close. I was the exception, okay? I was not the only exception, but, you know, they're all just actresses. And I worked for that company for quite a while. Over years. Anyway, invited to the Christmas party where Courtney, the man, he allowed his phone sex people, his phone sex women, to mingle with the other side of his business people. And, I don't know, did we mingle? Maybe have a part, I think, well, it was the same party. I don't know. All I know is that I got to meet all those women that I'd only ever heard their voices over the phone. And they were all obese, all of them. I mean, massively obese, all of them. A lot of times you can have a 40 or even a 50-year-old, depending on how young sounding she is, play a 20-year-old and 18-year-old. It's just all a lie. It's all bullshit. Like most of life is a lie and bullshit and smoke and mirrors and whatnot. You might say, well, why did you even work at that company? You were a college honors graduate. Why didn't you majored in English? Why didn't you become a teacher? Why didn't you ever? Did I enjoy that job? I enjoyed it way more than I would have enjoyed dressing in a suit, business suit, and slaving away in an office 8 hours a day, so let's put it that way. Whether or not I enjoyed it, I just did things. I did things to experience life. I started doing the calls eventually, not from you doing from home. All our women, they did them from their home. They weren't, you can't imagine doing it in some kind of room like you've seen in movies. You can't imagine that one. We did it from our homes. I didn't even start doing that until I'd worked at that company for like over a year, I think, overnight, as a moderator. See, and that was like 20 years ago. Haven't changed. I haven't changed. I am never, ever gonna be that. Whatever, you know, that. Even. I was smart. And I actually applied for a job on the other side. I was tired of doing, you know, being the overnight moderator, whatever. Applied for a job on the other side, and guess what happened? They all knew that I'd worked on that side, and I was always the outcast. And Courtney hired some new woman to, you know, to oversee us or whatever. In the end, I was treated badly. And I have a very, very, very good work ethic. I busted my ass. I was always going to be an outsider because they knew that, actually I think for a while I was doing both. I was still working part-time over there and I was over there. But the fact of the matter is I was smart enough to do it. I was smart enough to get the job. And in the end I wound up fucking quitting because supervisors and managers treated me badly for no reason. I didn't deserve it. Gee. remember I was tall and pretty and thin. And that was just, that was just what was gonna happen. I don't think they could deal with me, even though I busted my ass. They didn't, they couldn't reconcile the way I behaved on that side. Extremely conscientious and blah blah whatever. When they knew I did the phone sex calls on the other side and was working that, they didn't get it. They didn't get me. So then, people don't get you. They get pissed off. And everyone has, to one extent or another, like secrets and a secret life or whatever. I was in a steady relationship, but remember I was in my 20s. I was thin. I was, my boyfriend and I went out to this club called Man Ray. That was a B&D club, a S&M club, whatever you want to call it, where you can dress in lingerie or whatever. Because, I'm always fucking cursed, a woman, young woman, probably younger than me, but by a few years or something, saw me. Unfortunately, what were the fucking chances? Saw me letting loose and dressed in teeny little skirt and lingerie and dancing in the cage with, at least I wasn't out there by myself, I was with my boyfriend. And what do you think she did? She told everybody at work the next time we worked together. So this was like on a Friday or Saturday night. She told everybody on Monday. Told the supervisor who really didn't like me that much anyway. It was horrible. It was horrible. She was just an immature little bitch. Probably an immature, jealous little bitch. But in any case, she told the entire office. She told them. I was nice to everybody. I was never... That's all I was. It was nice. I was conscientious. I was sweet. I was shy. She told the entire office that she'd seen me dancing in the cage and how I was dressed and whatever. And the supervisor was female, probably around my age, maybe a little bit younger, whatever, No beauty queen, but no, But anyway, she goes out loud in front of the entire place. Like something like, what were you doing in that cage, Laura, or something? You believe that? Face I can't ever win. Even when I tried to get out of the, it still stayed with me. And, I'm someone who craves excitement. I'm craving, And I just, I have this split, Started watching that show, Do No Harm. My mom watched it too. She thought it was kind of cool. It fascinates me because I have a split personality, but at least I'm like, it's it's not something like his split, but he has an alternate personality that completely takes over. And when you have that stuff fascinates me. When you have an alternate personality, you can even have a different disease. I mean, it's fascinating. Like the one person can have diabetes, then the alternate personality, or sometimes more, you know, have different everything, and they're very real. That is just the strangest thing to me. It's just unbelievably fascinating. I just have a lot of different sides, but they're all integrated, you know. His is totally separate, comes out every night at like a certain amount of time and stays for 12 hours, and they talk to each other. Like the one will fuck him over, and he might have bits and pieces of the memory of the other one, and one's evil and one's good, and it's just crazy to me. It's crazy. But I'm drawn to that kind of thing, you know? That's part of the reason I used to do all the crazy things that I did. Especially when you just... Life's never ever been safe for me, ever safe and secure, you know? And I've constantly felt, you know, hovering over my head, the stigma, the fear, the whatever, the mental illness that runs in my family. And I just, why do you think I just wanted to go crazy on the dance floor? You know, do whatever. And although I don't really think of it as luck, so I've never even won, but I'm lucky I'm even alive. The things I did, I'm lucky I'm even alive. I don't know. What I do know is that I enjoyed drinking and dancing, just going absolutely crazy on the dance floor more than I ever enjoyed sex. So of course I've been forever waiting, and probably will never ever find, but forever waiting for that man who could change my mind.